How we doing, guys? Another great crowd, wasn't it? I thought our crowd and our fans, man, especially on a lot of those third downs early that caused some penalties, that's a home field advantage. And I can't say enough about, the energy of our crowd and them coming out for an important game like this. And I thought it was really good. Obviously, in the locker room afterwards, I can really tell how this team has grown. And it was almost like they lost the game. I mean, there wasn't a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. And I think that had to do with, how we closed out the game. I thought it got sloppy, things that are uncharacteristic of our team. And yet, you know what? Take a rivalry win anytime. As I told them, I think we're something in one right now, with more wins than we have losses. And you know what? We should feel good about that. And yet, as we talked, we've got to enjoy this for 12 hours and then go to work on a very tough opponent on the road that seems to have our number.
How impressive and efficient was Garrett tonight?
What showed me, it looked like, just the way he was operating. I think his preparation this week, was excellent. Felt the game kind of slowed down a little bit for him. He was throwing on time. That's good performance by a senior, in a rivalry game. And I know how important this game was to him.
He was able to spread the ball around.
Say it again.
Just the way you guys came out and just took it to him right off the bat. How important was that? Obviously, you said things got a little sloppy late, but you had a 3-touchdown lead by halftime.
And then I think we were up 4 for a while, yeah. But our guys are they're learning what it is to prepare and what to expect of yourself. And it was good that we took the first drive in, down, and obviously we didn't punch it in. We'll have to get that corrected a little bit, but we put points on the board, and then the defense was able to get the ball back. Those are all really good things as you're moving forward. And a lot of guys making plays and playing hard now. I'm telling you what, it was good.
Grayson was able to spread the ball around.
Yeah.
Kind of confused the Wyoming defense a little bit.
Well, it's, you guys that have been covering me, I'm not a guy with I remember the first question, who's your go-to guy? Well, the guy who's open. That's the go-to guy. And we've got faith we've got a really good receiving core. I think I spoke to them, early in the year and even last spring. I thought that throwing the football would be an advantage for us. And we're getting some guys stepping up and making plays. And Garrett's doing a really good job of taking what the defense gives him.
How is Rashard able to repeatedly turn little throws into big gains?
Well, it's interesting because he doesn't look like he's moving real fast. But believe me, the guy's moving real fast. And he's got a real good knack and great timing. We had some really good things happen for him downfield, too. Some guys threw some really nice blocks on run after catch. But he's a special player. He's got a long ways to go from a consistency standpoint. We're starting to move him around just a little bit more, so teams can't just say, hey, there he is, which is something I think that'll help us and help some other guys as well. So, he's a pretty darn good ball player.
You're getting in a rarefied atmosphere now. Each week we ask you, did you expect it, or how are you going to react? And how do you feel now? It's 7-1, whatever.
Yeah, whatever in one. I know this our organization. There's a lot of guys in this organization who have been in this atmosphere, and so the good part is we can kind of speak to that in what to expect, and I know our guys aren't satisfied, and that's something that this is what we should be. And we shouldn't be and one. I mean, that's kind of how it is. And so, but at the same time, we'll embrace this and be excited about it. But it's by no means you know, we got a lot ahead of us.
You talked earlier this year about trying to get your running backs to be patient, don't try to hit a home run on every play. Yet, that looks like what Rashard's trying to do every time he gets the ball.
Well,
You see him
actually,
gaining confidence with the plays he's making.
his patience is actually really good. You know, he sets those things up, and then all of a sudden, you know, hey, diddle diddle dude down the middle. You know, it's good stuff. So, it's good. It's good.
Where did that nursery rhyme fit into the lexicon?
I'll talk about that next
Okay,
week.
there
It's
you go.
actually pretty good.
Okay.
Oops, trainer. All right.
You guys been let up late.
You know, it's just disappointing. Gosh darn, that's one of those you want to just finish the way you should finish, and yet, you know, you talk about the rarefied air. That might be part of growing up, and you know, there might be some of that. You know, same thing happened to us a couple weeks ago in Reno. You know, and you know, we've got to learn, and as I've always said, you know, every day there's a lesson to be learned that'll help you in life, and this is another one.
Jim, do you think you guys will be ranked, and does that matter?
I don't know, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I don't know whether we would or not. I'm not sure I have enough friends out there to vote for me.
It's the third game that you've been able to get Nick in. Obviously, Garrett graduates next year. How important is it just each time to get him to get a feel for?
Oh, him running the show out there, and you know, he's a guy that, you know, is so cerebral and means he's really smart, in case you're wondering. And but he does a great job of handling the situation. Obviously, getting a lot of reps right now because of the pitch count there that we're on with Garrett, and you know, so you know, it's always good to get some guys in the game.
Does that pitch count make Garrett better? I mean, he's
I don't.
been more efficient the last couple of games.
Yeah, he's got some guys making some plays, and that's really what it's all about.
Can you talk a little bit about Aaron Davis and this? He had another 10 tackle performance tonight.
Yeah.
Just kind of the way he's kind of approaching his game right now.
Well, I tell you what, you know, and as you guys know, I think our linebacker core are fantastic. They run to the ball, they wrap up, they handle all the checks. You know, AD's got tremendous speed, so he can get guys on the outside and get them down, and you know, I can't say enough, you know, how those guys are competing, and yet I can say that about a lot of spots on the defensive side of the ball.
You're not in the business of handing out orange slices to the opposing team, but really Wyoming came in and played, beat out.
No, I'm telling you what now, we're going to have our work cut out for us as a program with these guys. I can tell the way they play. I can tell their resolve. This is going to, you know, get back to being a heck of a rivalry, and it's one of those deals where they do a fantastic job, and you know what? Every year I know we get to play it, and so it's going to be fun. Thanks, guys.
Garrett's 5 touchdown passes, 4 different receivers. How does that speak about your receiving core?
You know, I think it just says that we're starting to get it as a receiving core. You know, every week we want to go out and distribute the ball to everyone, but it obviously doesn't go like that every week, and that's kind of life of a receiver. But it was great for everyone to, you know, get some catches tonight, and it was a lot of fun.
Joe, you guys are 7-1. Just what's that mean?
You know, it's huge for us, it's huge for the program, and it's huge for the fans. Every week it kind of just pushes you to go out, you know, that much harder when you're winning games. It's just practice is more enjoyable, and you just want to go out and get that 8th win this week.
Do you feel like things kind of started turning with that win at Wyoming last year?
Maybe a little bit. We talk about how that was, you know, one of the games last year that we dominated for the whole game, for all 4 quarters. So, you know, I think it definitely had a part, but we're a new team this season, and we all worked harder in the off season, so that has to do a lot with it too.
Your touchdown play,
Yeah.
we talked about that.
You know, they dialed that one up on the sideline pretty well. You know, Coach Ezel, he told me, you know, you're going to get the look we want and just bend it inside. So after that, like Coach Max said, I just tried not to get caught.
How nice is it, though, when you come into a rivalry game like that, to jump out and build such a quick lead on them? Can you kind of put them in their place, so to speak?
You know, I want to say put them in their place because, you know, they're a great team. They deserve all the credit. But yeah, it's any game that you can come out and put quick points on the board, it's going to be easier for the team to get the win.
How much better is this team now than when you guys lost to Boise?
I wish we had another shot at them. Obviously, we don't, but I think we've came many big strides since Boise. Week 2 we weren't a complete team yet, and I know a lot of the guys on the team want another shot at them. So obviously that can't happen, but we've definitely made some strides.
How well is Garrett playing right now, and how well did he play tonight?
I think our record says it all for how well he's playing. He's the quarterback, and he really manages the offense. So numbers that we're putting up right now, everyone's playing their part. The line, Rashard's going crazy every game, but Garrett's definitely playing well. He's starting to manage the team extremely well, and keeping everyone's head in it when anything goes wrong.
Joe, do you think you guys yourselves in the locker room think you're a top 25 team in this country?
I don't think anyone's worrying about that, to be honest. I know it's cliche, but a lot of us just want to go out and get that 8th win. It would be cool to be a top 25 team, but right now we're just focusing on winning out so we can make it to Mountain West Championship possibly.
Jim did come in and say you guys seemed like a disappointed locker room because of the way the final score ended up. What does that say about maybe the culture change of this team?
It was a little bit more quiet than it usually is after a big win, and I think that's just due to how we won. The team's just starting to understand that, yeah, we won, but we didn't finish the way we wanted to, and we might not be that lucky to win the bigger games if we play like that in the second half. So about the team, I think it just says that we're starting to get it more, and we're pushing to be better every day.
All right, anything else for Joe?
That just go to show you how big, and how much our program has grown, and our fans, the second straight sellout, so crowd, that's big, especially around here, and a lot of guys, they're excited about that, and it make us play a little better, make us play a little harder, because we playing for fans, playing for, families, everybody that's backing us here.
Each week we add a win to your record. Coach says whatever, like he talks about your kicker. How exciting is this?
Oh, it's very exciting, but it's just one more game. We got a bigger picture down the road that everybody want to do, and we already have the climb. Everybody talk about that, and that's what road we on right now.
When you're on a roll like this, when you look back to the loss to Boise, the more success you have, does it make it harder to accept that loss to Boise, considering how much better the team's playing at this point in time?
I won't say hard or better or anything like that, but it was a teaching tool, and a lot of great teams need losses like that just to show you what you have within. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that we played much better than we did that second game, and I wish we could have another shot at it.
Again, our opportunities with you have been limited, but what do you feel about what you've contributed here so far, and how do you feel about the way you're playing?
Well, to be honest, I just, want to do what I can do for the team. I don't care what I have to do, to be honest. I've did nothing. Garrett Grayson having the best season of his life, I feel like. Rashard Higgins, these guys balling out there. I'm just doing a little cleanup duty, and I don't mind it. Yeah.
All right, anything else for D?
What's up, y'all?
So Wyoming tried to guard you with one guy again, and just some more success for you, huh?
I'm just doing my job. That's the way they game plan me, and at the end of the day, I'm just catching the ball, getting on field, doing what I'm supposed to do.
It looks like every time you catch the ball, you're trying to hit that home run. Is that just the run you're on right now, or in the confidence that you're feeling?
Oh, that I expect big plays out of myself. I expect to turn a 1-yard route into 80, turn it into 90. That's just things that goals that I have for myself, and others expect that out of me as well.
You keep expecting the corner to come out and play tight, tough, and pop you, or they don't seem to be doing it?
I really can't control that. I'm just getting in their head, just talking a little trash, playing the game that I love to play.
How good is your quarterback playing right now, though?
Garrett, man, he having a season. Appreciate that, Garrett. Hey, Garrett having a season. he just, I mean, it goes back to the film room. He know where DBs, how they play, what coverage that they like to play. Garrett's having a season, and I mean, the sky's the limit for us right now.
Now, 12 touchdowns, that's the most in college football. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it feels good, but I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm trying to lead the team to another bowl game, and we trying to stay climbing the mountain, and this is part of it.
Rashard, just how much fun do you guys have on a 6-game win streak?
I'm having fun. The team is having fun. Every time I ask them, what do you come out, what do you expect? They ask me, they tell me, man, let's just have fun. Let's just do what we do. Do what we do every day in practice, go hard. And I mean, the outcome, it'll show on the field.
The way you guys are playing right now, would you like to go back and revisit week 2 and play Boise one more time?
Man, I would love to be undefeated right now, but I mean, everything happens for a reason. So it probably took us to lose one to win 5. Win 1, lose 1 to win however many we have to win.
Anything else?
Hey, what about the boot, man? You got to touch the boot. You look like you're pretty happy there.
Man, I love that boot. I remember the first year guys that didn't get a chance to win that, and they said they didn't do so good. And the 2 years I've been here, we won the boot 2 times in a row, and it feels good.
Yeah, you know, that's something. It's obviously early on in my career, I guess I wasn't really thinking about that, you know, especially with how I played early on. But, you know, this year, everybody kind of knows where I stood. I knew where I stood, but I kind of wanted to, you know, stay within myself. I think, you know, like I've said many times, anytime you start thinking about records, it takes you out of your game. You start, you know, trying to force things to make things happen instead of letting it just come to you. That's something Coach Mack has talked, you know, multiple times, said to me, you know, take what the defense gives you and eventually they'll give you the game. And I think that was a big part of what we did tonight. You know, we were dinking dunking there for a while, and then we ended up taking some shots and hitting those shots, and, you know, playmakers made plays. So
How does it feel to be able to throw the ball short or medium range and have Rashard?
yeah, it's you know, it's a really good feeling to be able to throw a negative 3-yard route and him take it 80 yards. So, you know, like I said, anytime I can get that kid the ball, you know, I'm trying to do that. And that may be, you know, something I do try and force at times, but, you know, he saves me a lot of the time. Making, you know, just look at last week, you know, I threw a ball into triple coverage and he came up with a great play. So that's just, you know, a guy that I just try and get him the ball as much as I can because I know he's that playmaker for us, and, you know, he's you know, helped us out a lot. So.
Keep waiting for them to play that tougher.
You know, I like I've said many times, I don't know. Utah State was the first team that really seemed to be adjusting to him. You know, he still put up some unreal numbers, but they were the first team to kind of really roll to him and try and double him. And then, you know, there was a couple times tonight where we had some in-game adjustments where their corner was playing way off. So, you know, that was when I just turned and threw the ball out there. And then you obviously saw what he could do with it. So, you know, I really don't know what to say, what defenses are doing with him. So, you know, he's just an unreal player, and obviously I'm beyond happy to have him on our side. So
You played really efficient tonight. You played really efficient all year. Where is that coming from? Where do you give credit for that to?
And I got to give a lot to the coaches and obviously the players. Coaches are putting me in a good position to be successful. And then, like you saw tonight, when I throw a 2-yard route and Rashard takes it to the house, you know, it makes my job a lot easier, builds your confidence, everything like that. And then, you know, obviously, I think going back to last year after the Tulsa game, when I finally met with Coach Mack and asked him, you know, what I should be looking for in film, how to watch film, things like that. That's a big thing for me when I, you know, asking that question. That's something I look back and that kind of changed the whole game of football for me because, you know, obviously I was watching film, but I don't know how much I was getting out of it, and that was something Coach Mack changed the whole thing for me. So.
How much more prepared do you feel out of that film than they had in games this year?
You know, I think, you know, the second half of last season going on to this season, it's, you know, a night and day difference with me being prepared, you know, seeing pre-snap what defenses are doing, and then, you know, automatically ruling certain routes out because of what defense they're in. And that's something, you know, makes it a lot easier when you can kind of just see a defense and say, okay, that route, you know, probably isn't going to be there, so you can go ahead and look the other way. You don't have to panic, you know, look one way and then have to panic, look around the next, and you know, so it's all been, you know, preparation, I guess, the biggest thing for me. And like I said, I take it back to the coaches and what they told me last year. So
Each week, we're asking you what it's like to be whatever and 1. What's it like to be 7-1?
Obviously, like I said last week, it's an unreal feeling. None of us have been here. It's something we're all very proud of. Coach Mack says all the time, you're building your legacy now. This is when you do it. This is how you're remembered. And obviously, we want to be a great senior class and lead this program going in the right direction. That's something, the way we finished the bowl game last year, that's something that senior class did for us, and we're just trying to carry the torch. So.
Have you heard from Moses Reno or Terry Nugent or Kelly Stover?
Terry Nugent texted me. He did. He texted me last week and told me he couldn't be more happy for me. It was well deserved, everything like that. So that was a huge honor for me to get a text from him. It just take some time out of his day. Because he's obviously all over the record book. So for him to do that meant a lot for me. So.
Gary, has it helped you? You've been on sort of a pitch count in practice since that Boston College injury. Has that actually helped you? It seems like you've been even more efficient in games.
I won't say it hurt by any means, but I think it's caused me to focus a little bit more. Going into practice, obviously, I'm not getting the reps, and so I have, standing back there and watching Nick go through and CJ go through, it's caused me to focus a little bit more on what the defense are exactly doing. Because obviously when you're not getting the reps, you can miss certain routes, things like that, and you don't get the practice. So when you do get those, 30, 40 throws that I've been getting during the week, that's something you need to be perfect on in those reps. And so, I think, I won't say skipping reps or missing reps. I don't think it ever helps you, but it's definitely caused me to focus a lot more. And, I think, it may have helped in that aspect. So.
Is that shoulder still bothering you?
A little bit, but it's not too bad. It's gotten better every week. The first week against Tulsa, that was really the first time that it was still bugging me pretty bad, and every week since then it's been a lot better. So.
Ask Jim what it was like to watch Rashard. It seems like he wants to try and hit a home run with every throw that you give him. And he thinks it's his patience that's helping set. What do you see with what he's doing to defenders to make those big plays?
Yeah, I think he's very good at reading his blocks, things like that. Obviously, like I said, when I'm throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage and he takes it 60, 70, 80 yards to the house, it just shows, we're getting linemen out there blocking for him. And he's very good at reading those, making guys miss, making a guy go left and then jumping around the lineman, making him go right. So it's kind of fun to watch those guys kind of spin in circles when he's running around. So it's enjoyable, and obviously, like I've said, it makes my job a lot easier when you can do that. So.
Do you feel like he's playing beyond a true sophomore's ability?
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, like I said, when I told Coach Mack last summer we need to get this guy on the field, he's going to be a playmaker for us. I obviously knew he was going to be good and do the things that he's kind of doing, but I don't know if I knew it would be this good this early. So I've said it before, I'm very jealous of the quarterbacks, whoever it is next year. I'm very jealous that they're going to get to play with these guys. So.
Garrett, what did you learn when you went to Peyton's passing academy, and how's that kind of helped you?
The preparation, you always hear people say how much film Peyton watches and how he's kind of a perfectionist. And so being able to sit down there and go through drills with him and just, be within 5 feet of him, hear how he talks about certain drills, hear how he gets on certain guys for doing things, wrong. He wants everything perfect the first time. He doesn't want to have to do it over. And so, it's something I kind of took for him, and it's taken me out of my comfort zone because I've never been a guy to really, harp on people or get on someone during practice. But, that's something I kind of learned from him, and I'm trying to do it as best I can. So.
You know as well as anybody what those game reps are worth. For Nick to get into some of these blocks, how is that going to help him next year as he tries to win?
Yeah, that's it's huge for the confidence level. That's something, obviously I learned in my career early on and took me on in my sophomore year. I think anytime you go into a season and it's your first start and you haven't had any reps at all, there's you get a lot more jitterbugs, butterflies, whatever you want to call them, and it kind of takes you take some time to calm down. So any reps that he can get, I think that's going to help him a ton in the long run. So.
Thanks a lot, Gary.
Thank you.
Disappointment in the way that game ended. Was there, and what does that say about the growth of you guys as a defense, as a team?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a little disappointment there at the end. We thought as a defense we could shut them out, but obviously we gave them some points, and I think that just shows that we expect to be great. And even though we got the win, we have stuff to work on. We acknowledge that.
Aaron, this is the second straight sellout here at Hughes. How does it feel to kind of be changing the culture around?
It definitely feels good. Obviously, you guys saw they had a lot of false start penalties, and I give credit to the crowd for that. But we hope we can keep getting those crowds out here, keep winning.
You're quicker than Tyson Miller after beat you to the boot. How did that happen?
Well, we had the hands team and I had to go out and do that, so I think that's
You
how
had
it
that
beat
start?
me. Yeah.
But how nice was it as your senior year to be able to carry that off around?
It definitely feels good. You know, some of the younger guys, we try to tell them they don't know what it feels like not to have it. So we just try to harp on them and tell them to keep it here. You know, they should never know the feeling of not having it here.
Kind of get the feeling that something special is going on here this year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys sense that? Or you talk about it at all? I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even in that Utah State game, you just get the feeling that even if we're down, even if we make a bad play, we just also have the feeling that we're gonna come out with a victory, and it's just that kind of season for us. And yeah, it's a special season for sure.
Does it feel different winning the boot this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we expected to win it. Like I said, since we had it here, we see it every day walking by, and we just feel like it's our property. And yeah, so I think that's some of the reason why guys felt a little disappointed that we gave up that many points. But I mean, I think that's just what it takes to be great.
What has been the highlights so far this season?
Highlight so far, I think, is just having the team come together. I think a lot of guys have just bonded a lot during this process, and we're not trying to look too far ahead, and we're just trying to stay in the present. But yeah, I think guys just are connecting on all different cylinders and off the field, on and off the field. And I think our communication on and off the field has been great.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.